You have probably felt this before. Everything seems to be going well. The conversations are easy. She laughs. She replies with energy. She makes time for you. She seems genuinely interested. And then, out of nowhere, something changes. Her replies get shorter. Her energy feels different. She becomes less available. And you are left sitting there confused, wondering what went wrong when nothing seemed wrong at all. This is the mistake most men make in that moment. They assume that if a woman pulls away, it must mean she has lost interest. But in many cases, that is not the real reason. Sometimes the opposite is true. She likes you. She feels the connection growing. She feels something real starting to build. And that emotional shift creates internal reactions she is not fully comfortable with yet. Instead of leaning in, she steps back. Not always because she wants to leave, but because she needs space to process what she is feeling. Women often experience attraction in waves, not in a straight line. Their emotions can deepen and then trigger uncertainty, caution, or the need to slow things down. If you do not understand why this happens, you will almost always react the wrong way. You will chase harder, over-explain, ask for clarity too quickly, or try to force things back to how they were. And those reactions usually make things worse. What you need in that moment is not panic. What you need is awareness. When you understand the real reasons a woman pulls away even when she likes you, you stop taking it personally. You stop reacting from fear. You start responding with patience, confidence, and control. In this guide, you are going to learn 7 real reasons this happens. These are psychological patterns that often work beneath the surface. Once you understand them, her behavior starts to make more sense, and you become much better at handling these moments without ruining the connection. First, emotional overload. One of the biggest reasons a woman pulls away even when she genuinely likes you is emotional overload. When attraction starts building, especially when it happens quickly or with strong intensity, it can create a lot of emotional pressure inside her. At first, everything feels exciting, easy, and natural. She enjoys the conversations. She enjoys the attention. She enjoys the emotional energy between you. But as the connection gets deeper, her mind starts to shift from enjoying the moment to analyzing what it could mean. She begins thinking beyond the present. She starts asking herself what this connection could turn into, how it might affect her life, and whether she is ready for that level of emotional involvement. Even if you have done nothing wrong, the growing emotional weight can make her feel pressure. She may feel herself getting attached faster than she expected, and that can create fear. In that moment, pulling back becomes a way to regulate herself. It is not always rejection. Sometimes it is emotional self-protection. This is where many men make things worse. They feel her energy shift, and instead of calming down, they panic. They start texting more. They try to get reassurance. They ask if something is wrong. They try to pull her closer exactly when she is trying to regain emotional balance. That response only increases the pressure she already feels. Instead of helping, it pushes her further back. Emotional overload also happens when a man moves too fast. If he becomes overly available, overly expressive, or too emotionally intense too early, it can speed up the connection faster than she is ready for. Even if she likes him, she may need time to catch up emotionally. Women often need space to process their feelings at their own pace. If they are not given that space, they may feel overwhelmed. The right response here is not to disappear in a dramatic way. It is to remain steady. Stay calm, give her space without becoming cold. Keep living your life. Keep your emotional center. When she feels that there is no pressure, she can process her feelings more naturally. And very often, if you handle this well, she returns with even more interest because she no longer feels overwhelmed by the speed or intensity of the connection. Emotional overload is often a sign that something real is happening, but it needs patience, not pressure. Second, fear of losing independence. Another major reason a woman may pull away, even when she likes you, is fear of losing her independence. As attraction grows, emotional attachment starts to become possible. And with that possibility often comes another thought in her mind. What will this connection demand from me? She may begin wondering whether she will lose her freedom, whether she will have to adjust her lifestyle too much, or whether she will start depending emotionally on someone in a way that makes her uncomfortable. This does not mean she does not want connection. It means she also values autonomy. A woman can want closeness and still fear losing herself inside it. If the connection begins to feel too consuming, too fast, or too emotionally heavy, she may instinctively create distance to protect her sense of self. This happens especially with women who are highly independent, self-driven, or used to handling life on their own. The stronger her identity outside of relationships, the more sensitive she may be to anything that feels like it could take that away. A lot of men make this worse without realizing it. They start acting as if the relationship is already established. They become too available. They expect constant communication. They subtly center their life around her. Even if that comes from genuine interest, it can make her feel like the connection is becoming too much too soon. And when that happens, her instinct is often to step back and reclaim her own emotional space. The answer here is not to convince her that she is wrong for wanting independence. The answer is to show through your behavior that being with you does not mean losing herself. When she sees that you also have your own life, your own goals, your own rhythm, and your own emotional stability, it eases her fear. She starts to realize that this connection does not have to consume her. It can fit into her life without taking it over. Independence is actually one of the things that keeps attraction alive. Women are often drawn to men who are interested but not emotionally dependent. When you maintain your own direction, you create the kind of space where she can come closer willingly instead of feeling pressured into closeness. Fear of losing independence is not always a sign that she wants out. Often it is a sign that she wants the connection to feel balanced, not overwhelming. Third, she may be testing your emotional strength. Another reason a woman pulls away even when she likes you is that your reaction to her distance reveals a lot about you. This is not always a conscious game she is playing. In many cases, it is simply part of how she observes whether you are emotionally solid or easily shaken. When she creates a little distance, she sees what happens. If you panic, chase, overtext, demand answers, or try to force reassurance, you show insecurity. If you stay calm, grounded, and composed, you show strength. Women often watch how men handle uncertainty. It tells them a lot about emotional stability. It tells them whether the man is confident only when things are easy or whether he can stay centered when things become unclear. A man who remains calm when she pulls back shows that his identity does not collapse the moment her energy changes. That is attractive. A man who becomes desperate the second he feels distance often lowers attraction because he shows that he depends too much on her response. Strength here does not mean becoming cold, arrogant, or pretending not to care. It means emotional steadiness. It means you do not lose control just because things feel uncertain. You do not need constant reassurance to stay grounded. You do not immediately assume the worst. You do not overreact. You allow space while remaining secure in yourself. Women are often sensitive to this because they want to feel that the man they are dealing with can handle emotional fluctuations without becoming unstable. If you are confident when she is close but anxious when she takes one step back, that inconsistency weakens her trust in your emotional strength. But if your behavior stays calm and balanced, it builds respect. It shows that your mood is not controlled by her every move. In these moments, the best thing you can do is hold your center. Do not chase clarity too fast. Do not prove your feelings by overextending. Let your calmness speak for you. When you respond with stability instead of panic, you often make her feel more secure coming back toward you because she sees that you are not someone who becomes emotionally chaotic under pressure. Fourth, she needs to rebalance her emotions. Attraction does not always move in one clear direction. Sometimes feelings build, then a woman needs distance to sort them out. This is one of the most misunderstood parts of dating. A woman may genuinely like you, but after a strong moment of closeness, deep conversation, excitement, or vulnerability, she may suddenly pull back. That shift does not always mean her feelings disappeared. Often it means they got strong enough that she now needs time to process them. Women often need space to understand their own emotions. They may need to step back and ask themselves what they are really feeling, whether the connection feels safe, and whether their emotions are moving in the right direction. Pulling away in this case is not a punishment and not always a rejection. It is often emotional rebalancing. She is creating a little distance so she can return to herself before deciding how deeply she wants to keep going. Many men misread this and try to keep the emotional intensity going at all costs. They continue texting heavily, asking emotional questions, or trying to hold on to the same level of closeness. But that interrupts the natural rebalancing process. Instead of helping, it makes her feel like she cannot breathe emotionally. That is when she may pull away even harder. What works better is emotional discipline. Give the connection some air. Let her process. Do not disappear out of bitterness, but do not chase out of fear either. Stay grounded in your own life. When she feels that the pressure is gone, she is often able to settle her emotions and return more naturally. Rebalancing is often part of how attraction stays healthy. It allows her to feel closeness without feeling emotionally swallowed by it. This also creates a rhythm in the connection. Closeness, space, reflection, return. That rhythm is normal in many emotional dynamics. The problem comes when men fight it instead of understanding it. If you respect the need for emotional balance, you become easier for her to trust. You show that you are not trying to control every emotional movement. That actually makes the connection stronger over time. Fifth, fear of getting hurt. Another very real reason a woman may pull away even when she clearly likes you is fear of getting hurt. The stronger her feelings become, the more vulnerable she becomes. And the more vulnerable she becomes, the more real the risk feels. If she starts caring about you, then she also starts realizing that you now have the ability to affect her emotionally. That awareness alone can trigger fear. A woman may have past experiences that taught her to be careful. She may have been disappointed, ignored, misled, betrayed, or emotionally hurt before. Even if you have done nothing wrong, strong feelings can still wake up those old fears. She may start wondering whether this will end the same way as something painful from her past. Pulling away becomes a way to slow the emotional investment before she goes too deep. A lot of men take this personally. They think, I was good to her, so why is she stepping back? But fear does not always come from what you are doing wrong. Sometimes it comes from what she has lived through before. When a woman feels herself getting attached, she may need time to see whether you are safe emotionally. She watches whether your behavior stays consistent. She watches whether you remain calm or become reactive. She watches whether your words and actions continue to match over time. If you respond to her distance by becoming needy, intense, or emotionally unstable, you often confirm her fear. But if you stay consistent, respectful, and grounded, you begin to create emotional safety. Safety is not built through speeches, it is built through repeated behavior. When she sees that you do not pressure her, do not punish her for needing space, and do not become insecure every time her energy shifts, she begins to trust the connection more. This is why patience matters so much. You cannot force someone to feel safe faster than they are ready. All you can do is show through your actions that your emotional energy is steady. Fear of getting hurt is often a sign that her feelings matter. If she did not care, there would be nothing to fear. The goal is not to eliminate all fear instantly. The goal is to become someone whose consistency slowly lowers her defenses over time. Sixth, the loss of mystery. Attraction often needs a certain amount of curiosity to stay alive. Another reason a woman may pull away even when she likes you is that the connection starts losing mystery. If you become too available, too predictable, and too emotionally transparent too quickly, the emotional tension that helped build attraction can start fading. She may still like you, but the intensity can drop because there is no longer enough space for curiosity and anticipation. Many men create this problem without realizing it. They overcommunicate, they text constantly, they explain everything, they reveal all their feelings too early. They make themselves fully accessible all the time. In the beginning, that may feel like closeness, but after a while, it can reduce the sense of discovery. When a woman feels like there is nothing left to uncover, the connection can start feeling routine instead of exciting. Mystery is not about playing games or acting fake. It is about having your own full life. It is about not being available every second. It is about emotional pacing. It is about letting the connection unfold instead of dumping everything into it too quickly. Women are often attracted to men who have depth, layers, and a life that does not revolve entirely around them. That creates natural intrigue. When mystery fades, a woman may step back because the emotional excitement has dropped. Not because she hates you, not because she suddenly dislikes you, but because the dynamic needs space again. If you react by increasing communication even more, you usually make it worse. If you step back slightly and restore balance, curiosity often returns. You do not need to become cold to restore mystery. You simply need to stop overexposing yourself. Stay engaged, but not constantly. Be warm, but not excessive. Let anticipation exist. Let there be moments where she wonders about you instead of always having instant access to every part of you. Attraction often grows when there is a healthy mix of closeness and space. If you understand that, you stop smothering the connection and start giving it room to breathe again. Seventh, external influences and timing. Sometimes a woman pulls away even when she likes you for reasons that do not have much to do with you at all. This is one of the most overlooked reasons. Her life outside of the connection matters. Work stress, family problems, emotional exhaustion, personal goals, past relationship baggage, health issues, or simply bad timing can all affect how available she is emotionally. She may like you, but still not have the emotional space to stay fully engaged the way she was before. A lot of men make the mistake of turning every shift into a personal rejection. They assume that if she pulled back, they must have done something wrong. But sometimes the truth is simpler. She has other things happening. Her mind is somewhere else. Her emotional energy is stretched thin. And the easiest thing to reduce in those moments is the new connection, even if she values it. There can also be social influences. Friends may be advising her. Family may be influencing how she thinks about dating. Past experiences may be making her more cautious. or the timing may simply not be right. She may genuinely like you, but still not be ready to pursue something deeply because she is focused on healing, building her life, or dealing with other responsibilities. In those cases, pulling away is not always about lost attraction. Sometimes it is about limited capacity. This is why emotional maturity matters. You cannot out-text someone's life stress. You cannot compete with unresolved emotional baggage by trying harder. You cannot force timing to align just because you want it to. What you can do is stay grounded, respect her space, keep moving in your own life. Do not add pressure to whatever she is already carrying. When a woman feels that you are not trying to force her into something while she is overwhelmed, she often sees you as more emotionally intelligent and more attractive. You become associated with steadiness instead of pressure. And when her situation becomes calmer, she may return with more clarity because the connection did not become another source of stress. When a woman pulls away, even though she clearly likes you, it is rarely random. Usually, something deeper is happening under the surface. Emotional overload, fear of losing independence, testing your emotional strength, the need to rebalance emotions, fear of getting hurt, loss of mystery, and outside influences can all create distance even in a connection that is real and promising. The biggest mistake most men make is reacting emotionally. They panic, chase, overcommunicate, and try to force clarity. That usually amplifies the exact issue that caused her to pull away in the first place. The real advantage comes from understanding what is happening and responding with patience, composure, and confidence. When you stay grounded, give space without becoming bitter, and keep living your life with direction, you remove pressure. That often gives her the room she needs to process her emotions and come back naturally. Attraction is not built by forcing constant closeness. It often grows through rhythm, space, and emotional balance. Men who understand that stand out immediately because they do not fight every emotional shift. They know how to let the connection breathe. So the key is simple. Do not panic. Do not chase. Do not take every pullback personally. Stay steady. Stay focused. Let her process what she needs to process. If the connection is real, your calmness will often keep it alive better than your effort ever could. And if it is not real, your calmness still protects your dignity. Either way, emotional control puts you in the strongest position.